Hey guys, welcome back to Incremental Factory. Today we're going to go over my 1.2 million energy big reactor. Okay, so we will start off with the reactor. Like my small one, I have 5 of them, but the inside we have 8 cores, 3 heat exchangers, and 15 turbines or turbines, however you want to say it. So that gives us a total of 32,000 energy per reactor core. Since I have 8 of them, you times that number by 8, and that's 256,000. That's almost the amount of one of my small reactors. You times that by 5, and I believe it gives you 1.28 million energy for 5 energy cores. So it's a significant jump from my other one. Now the great thing is about this build is it is 100% balanced where it's at. I have been running this for 24 hours straight and nothing has changed. I will keep an eye on it as always and keep everybody updated, but as far as I know, everything is balanced. As we move on, we are pulling 30 coolant, used coolant, and 29.55 used fuel rod. Now these numbers we get by timesing the used fuel rod and used coolant by 5. And they do mathematically work out. So down here is the used coolant. I am pulling 30 and I am using 30 to make 1200 coolant, which then that coolant gets routed up back through and recycled back into the reactors. I need 1200 because we take 240 times 5 and that gives us 1200. So I am keeping up on coolant there with no problem with just the used coolant. As we move on to the used fuel rods, now this is where I was coming into troubles with my old design. I actually had these connected, so all 20 of these were connected. I did have 20 of them before. 20 of them over here were connected as one whole. I did have to split them up into 2 different nodes because our max is only 1250. That design did not work because when we got to dividing it down to the lines that we needed, the mathematics just didn't work. So I decided to do this, and lo and behold, all of the numbers that I needed are being created exactly as they were intended to be. So as we go from here, all the coolant from these comes up to the fuel rod production. Each one of these productions needs 1250 or 1248. As you can see, I got them labeled on the nodes here, except for this one. And that is because this fuel reactor production here is only producing 15, whereas all of these are producing 26. The reason mathematically why that number is magical is because 624 is half well, 625 is half of 1250. So you need a 1250 line to come in. You are also only using 1248 of it, but that's where that number magically happens because now I could just bring a 1250 line in and it gets divided down into both of these. Now here's the tricky part with this. This line only needs 984 coolant. So I had to break it down to a lot less production for the used fuel. Well, so that brings me down to 615. Well, if you take 615 plus 7.8, 7.8, and 7.8, add them all together, it makes 29.55. And if you take 5.9, 5.91 times 5, you get 29.55. Now, this does say that it's pulling more than what it actually is using, but I've went over the numbers. I've been keeping an eye on it. I am backed up here, but it's not backing up into this node here, which is where we really got to pay attention to. If it starts backing up into this node, we got issues. Yes, used coolant is backed up into this, but this was just from previous testing and whatnot. That's the reason why that's backed up. Otherwise, you can see in is 30 and out is 30. All right, so back up to the reactor fuel here. The reason we need the one at 15, and this is what solves my problem that I had on my small reactor, is that I had a small backup of fuel rod because I was overproducing by 0.05. And so now I'm making exactly the number I need to make, which is 197. So producing 197, using 197, perfect numbers, which is what we like to see. So this, after I got it going, this reactor is once again running with no outside coolant. I do have coolant here just in case if it ever does happen, but I have a feeling this coolant is just going to be used for jump starting another reactor. I do want to point out that you will need 394 refined orium to make this build, which results in a lot of thorium ore. I actually have way more than what I need. As you can see, I'm not even using all my lines here. So you can just work out the math on that. I just brought a bunch over and it'll pull whatever it needs. This will get refined down just like the rest of the build has. Alright guys, so that is my 1.2 million energy reactor. I think I'm going to be done with reactors for a little while. Gonna move on to Gen 4 and Gen 5 chips, and we'll go from there. Hope you liked the video. Please like, subscribe, comment if you have any questions. Thank you. Bye. Down.